You have to believe in your own truth. And you have to deepen your relationship to your truth. And you'll connect with people that are also seeking the same truth as you are, even if they don't see it the way you do. So never be afraid of your own truth, and to explore it. Also, don't be afraid to let go of it if you find that there's a deeper truth that speaks to you. And at the same time, whatever you do out there in the world, do an equal amount of work internally. Because if you don't, your work in the world will not be as effective. My wife said to me, literally she said to me, addressing my workaholism, she said, look, you gotta realize you're a workaholic. And so that challenged me. And so I really had to make a decision of what kind of life do I really want. Now the work is very satisfying, and there's a lot of appreciation for it out there in the world. But at the same time, if I identify with it, if I make it my identity and who I am, I deplete myself and I suffer, and I impose suffering in my primary relationship as well. So I've really had to look at my life. So I have slowed down, and literally now every invitation I get has to be vetted and approved by my wife, which is not a matter of yielding control to her. It's a matter of recognizing that I need support in making these decisions. And as a result of that, I'm enjoying life a lot more. And at the beginning of your movie, Iron Man, John Joseph says that we have to suffer to seek the truth. Some words to that effect. And whether he knows it or not, he's quoting the great Greek playwright Aeschylus, who in his Agamemnon, the chorus says, "We human beings suffering to truth." So literally, it was that suffering imposed by my workaholism that led me to have to make decisions and to understand the truth.
If you could pick up the phone and make a call to the 20-year-old Gabor and give that young man a bit of advice, what would you tell him? Where was he? Getting his medical degree.
No, he wasn't. He was, at that time, his ADD was too powerful. He couldn't go to medical school yet because that took more concentration and discipline than I was ready for. I didn't go to medical school till I was 28. So what do I say to the 20-year-old? Look inside. At that time, I was going to save the world through politics. Not to ignore the politics, but pay at least as much attention internally or more than you're casting on the outside. And you don't have to work so hard to be liked and loved. You're okay. Just relax, kid, you know, and allow life to come to you. You don't have to force it. And open your heart. Don't just focus on your clever brain so much. You know, open your heart and see what possibilities reveal themselves to you. And that it's not your fault. The way the world is, and even the way you are, it's not your fault. It's not a fault. Just accept yourself.
What is the best advice you've ever received in your life? From a colleague, a coworker?
I'll tell you two things. One is I had an aunt who was a physician herself, and she had not wanted to be a doctor, she wanted to be a writer. But complying with her father's wishes, she went to medical school. And she was taken to Auschwitz, where she saw her parents taken in one direction, to the gas chambers, and she was sent in another. And very sensitive, very wounded soul. But she saw me much more clearly when I was young than I could see myself. And once she quoted Shakespeare to me, and I know it's a cliche, and I know that it's in the mouth of the character Polonius, in whom Shakespeare puts this phrase, it's even hypocrisy, but it's so true. And she said to me, she wrote to me, to thine own self be true. You know, I wish I had understood what that meant, but that's the best advice I got. And then when I was a physician, but the part of me that wanted to write hadn't really expressed himself. Because that was really in me, to write and to share something with the world. And I had a patient who used to be an English professor at the University of British Columbia. He was quite a well-known Canadian poet, Warren Tallman. And I said to him when he came to the office once for a medical visit, I said, Warren, I want to write, but I don't know what. And he said, don't worry about it. He said, don't worry about it. He said, you will write when you have something to teach the world. And that's what happened. There's a lot of people out there who see the truth, but they don't control the media. And they don't write the scripts for most movies. So therefore, you might not get validation out there, but you have to believe in your own truth. And you have to deepen your relationship to your truth. And you'll connect with people that are also seeking the same truth as you are, even if they don't see it the way you do. So never be afraid of your own truth. To explore it. Also, don't be afraid to let go of it if you find that there's a deeper truth that speaks to you. And at the same time, whatever you do out there in the world, do an equal amount of work internally. Because if you don't, your work in the world will not be as effective.